Lately on this show we've been covering so much on what's been going on in WWE as their biggest event of the year, WrestleMania, is just getting so close. But my apologies, we haven't really talked about TNA at all lately. And that's what I plan on doing today, just kind of catching the wrestling fan up to date on what's been going on in TNA, giving my opinions along the way as I always do. But first, welcome to John's Wrestling Views. I am your host, John. Thanks for tuning in. TNA has been quite interesting lately. It's not quite the caliber of WWE. WWE's got WrestleMania just now. It's 9 days away, and and with WrestleMania, it's just there's so much going for WWE right now with the ratings and everything. It takes a lot for TNA to catch up with WWE normally. They always struggle, but it's even harder, much harder to even hold a candle to them this time of year. But you have to cut TNA some slack, all things considered. They've been doing a decent job. Of course, we saw the return of Sting recently, a couple weeks ago, as he was the surprise person that network brought in to have Jeff Hardy defend his TNA World Championship against a few weeks back, and of course Sting winning the title on his big return night. Sting's the TNA champion. The disappointing thing is going into Victory Road a little over a week later, Sting went to defend the title against Jeff Hardy, and then of course Rob Van Dam and Mr. Anderson were fighting earlier in the show for the #1 contender spot. Who's going to face the champion at Lockdown? Well, Anderson and Rob Van Dam wrestled to a double countout as Anderson hit the mic check on Van Dam on the outside, neither man able to get back into the ring in time. So I'll get to more on that storyline in a minute, but then comes Sting and Hardy. Sting comes out getting ready for the match, and then Eric Bischoff comes out. Gives these reasons on how Jeff Hardy wasn't ready for their match when they fought a little over a week ago, and because he didn't know who his opponent was, so the only way to make things fair is making this match no disqualification, blah blah blah. Jeff Hardy comes out, and Sting nails Bischoff, hits Hardy with a bat, I believe, and hits the Scorpion Death Drop, wins the match. It was about 30 seconds long. Record timing. Is like, wait, this is the main event of a pay-per-view, and it's going to end this way? And truth be told, I guess for half the show, nobody could find Jeff Hardy, as he was passed out in the bathroom from some overdose or something he had just partaken in. So yeah, Jeff Hardy, he's on the rocks right now. With TNA, it's not looking too good, but his court dates keep getting pushed back. Don't expect to see Jeff Hardy there, at least anytime soon. Sting's still the champion. Going on to Impact the following Thursday, Bully Ray is now stepping up, wanting to join Immortal. Granted, he lost to Tommy Dreamer at Victory Road the Sunday prior to this. But I guess what TNA was wanting to do was they needed somebody to fulfill the role that Jeff Hardy's been doing in storylines. Bully Ray steps up. Bischoff and Hogan makes a four-way match that night to determine the new #1 contender for the title. It was going to be Bully Ray, AJ Styles, Anderson, and Van Dam. Once again, Anderson and Van Dam, it came down to the two of them in the end. I believe it was a mic check onto the chair on Van Dam, but both men pinned each other as both men's shoulders were down during the pinfall attempt. And when the referee was about to make the verdict, Bully Ray attacked Earl Hebner and then attacked Jeremy Borash before he can make any sort of announcement. And then, which led to a fight between Bully Ray and AJ Styles up the ramp. Ric Flair gets involved, and Bully Ray does a power bomb from the stage through a table onto the floor. Move we've seen hundreds of times in WWE. This one quite possibly looked the worst I've ever seen. Not worse like he did a terrible job of putting it on, but AJ Styles looked like he was actually hurt. He was carried out on a stretcher. Question is, how much of this was real? It looked like he might have hurt his neck on the fall, at least from the view I caught. They said something about, I was some sort of back injury or something from the fall. Who knows how long AJ Styles is going to be out, but and so then that leads to it's going to be Fortune versus Fortune, and I'm presuming there's going to be a mystery partner for Fortune at Lockdown in the coveted Lethal Lockdown spot or match against Bully Ray, Matt Hardy, Ric Flair, and the returning Abyss, as Abyss came back this last Thursday and just dominated through Fortune. Who knows, maybe that fourth spot for Fortune will be fulfilled by AJ Styles. Maybe he's coming back early. Maybe this wasn't as severe as we're thinking. Sorry, guys, I have no idea. Otherwise, hopefully it's something good, though. Anderson and Rob Van Dam, once again, have a #1 contenders match this last Thursday on Impact. And then to add spice to the mix-up, Sting was a special enforcer. Referee gets knocked out. Sting comes into the match. Van Dam and Anderson fight to the outside. Anderson does a mic check onto Van Dam, face first into the pole. Anderson runs into the ring, tells Sting, come on, count him out. Sting refuses. They get no war in the inside, and the bell rings. Sting never called for the bell. One would assume that Anderson was getting disqualified, though, for hitting the enforcer. But they get in a war on the inside. And so, like I said, one would assume Van Dam won the match via disqualification. Afterwards, Sting admitted that he had no idea who rang the bell. He didn't ask for the bell to be rang. I'm guessing, Van Dam and Anderson, with how big a caliber stars they are, and, they both have legit reasons. Neither of them got their rematches after losing the world title. In fact, Van Dam never really lost the world title. Guessing maybe a three-way match at Lockdown for the title. And honestly, you put Van Dam, Anderson, and Sting into the same match all at once, in a cage nonetheless, you have one spectacular match there. Lockdown's usually one of TNA's biggest pay-per-views of the year, and that's one reason why. And then, of course, you have Madison Rayne, who's defending the Knockouts Championship against Mickie James at Lockdown, where if Mickie James loses, she gets her head shaved. TNA, a lot of fans are very upset with Vince Russo, who's the head writer of TNA. I remember when Roxy got her head shaved a few years ago, the fans were chanting, fire Russo. I really don't think Mickie James is going to allow the company to shave her head, though, so be expecting a new champion there. Not a whole lot more going on in TNA at this time to really worth mentioning. The Pope and Samoa Joe are having a stupid storyline. It's getting a little old, but I guess the two of them still need something to do, right? So, yeah, I'll hopefully keep you guys more in tune with TNA, but be expecting a lot of more WWE updates, as, like I said before, WrestleMania is just 9 days away. But, once again, thanks for tuning in. I'm John. Have a good one.